right, we have an FBI director, Kash Patel, getting 51 votes in a Senate-wide confirmation vote just a moment ago to 49 noes, which means that 2 Republican senators did not vote for him. For that and more, let's go to senior correspondent Chad Pergram, who's following all the moves on Capitol Hill. Chad?
Good afternoon, John. Well, Bernie Moreno, the Republican senator from Ohio, just read the vote total, 51 to 49. Mitch McConnell, the former Republican leader who announced his retirement earlier today, he voted yes. Some people thought he might vote no, but there were 2 GOP no's. You had Lisa Murkowski of Alaska and Susan Collins of Maine. So 51-49. They did not need J.D. Vance here to break a tie in this instance. I should note that this is only the second nominee who's gotten more than 1 GOP no. You had Mitch McConnell, who's voted, being the only no on the Republican side a couple of times here. You have to go back to Pete Hegseth in late January, who got 3 GOP no's: Collins, Murkowski, and McConnell. And Vance had to break the tie to confirm Hegseth as the defense secretary. But he's been confirmed, and now the Senate goes on to the budget debate. This establishes the framework for the president's domestic policy agenda. That's something they'll be getting into in just the next couple of minutes. Lindsey Graham, the Republican senator from South Carolina, who is the chairman of the Budget Committee, speaking right now. And they will have what they call a vote-a-rama on the Senate floor, where they vote and they vote. And did I say they vote? They will be doing this all night long as they set up this framework for the president's budget proposal.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Kash Patel, who is now the next FBI director. Yes, that's right. Democrats should be afraid. The deep state should be afraid. Kash Patel is the next director of the FBI, okay? And Democrats are panicking about this. In fact, they spent all this morning panicking about this. They were protesting outside of the FBI building over Kash Patel potentially being confirmed, which he did end up getting confirmed.
This is someone we cannot trust. This is someone who lacks the character to do this job, someone who lacks the integrity to do this job. We know that. Our Republican colleagues know that. The only qualification Kash Patel has to be FBI director is that when everyone else in the first Trump administration said, no, I won't do that, that crosses moral, ethical, and legal lines, Kash Patel said, sign me up. In the first Trump administration, as we are seeing in the second, you rise to the level of your sycophancy, and no one is a bigger or more dangerous sycophant than Kash Patel. This political hack does not deserve to be in this building. He can't do the job. He won't protect the public. He will misuse the resources of the Bureau. He will weaponize it against the president's political opponents rather than protecting the safety, the public safety of the American people.
Adam Schiff is the worst criminal in Congress in the last 250 years. And what broke that we're going to talk about right now is Adam Schiff met with a whistleblower. Adam Schiff went to the podium day after day after day saying, I know nothing about this. We're not going to discuss it. We're going to protect it. And then Adam Schiff, led the prosecution of the impeachment trial in the Senate of President Donald Trump. Talk about someone who was conflicted out of the game because he was part of the hoax that brought Charmella in, manufactured that false accusation, and then peddled it out to the world. And he continued, not surprising, he's lied about almost everything in his life. But now he lied just to set up a presidential impeachment. And that's what I was talking about, these disinformation campaigns. And then he should be investigated because he lied to the world about his interactions with Charmella, who was a whistleblower, and I can't stress it enough, that started a presidential impeachment. Now, your history is way better than mine, but I can't remember the last time a president was actually impeached. It's a significant process and escalation, and it's reserved for the time when it actually shows a crime, not when it shows the manufacture of fake information to show a fake crime. The guy that found and manufactured the evidence with Charmella was the prosecutor in the case against the target of the investigation. That is the ultimate, from a prosecutorial standpoint, conflict of interest. But he knew what he was doing, and he thought he would never get exposed. And I think thanks to, I think it was John Solomon and his fantastic reporting, we now see what I've been saying for years, that I thought he met with him for sure, and it will come out, and it now has.
Yeah, so Democrats are afraid, as they should be, okay, because FBI Director Kash Patel has vowed to restore trust in the Bureau and to hunt down bad actors in every corner of this planet, okay? He says that, quote, I am honored to be confirmed as the 9th director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Patel told Fox News Digital, thanking President Donald Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi for their unwavering confidence and support. Quote, the FBI has a storied legacy from the G-Man to safeguarding our nation in the wake of 9/11. Patel said, quote, the American people deserve an FBI that is transparent, accountable, and committed to justice. The politicization of our justice system has eroded public trust, but that ends today, he added. Patel told Fox News Digital that his mission as FBI director is clear. Quote, let good cops be cops, he said, and rebuild trust in the FBI, working alongside the dedicated men and women of the Bureau and our partners, we will rebuild an FBI the American people can be proud of, Patel said. And Patel issued a stark warning, quote, to those who seek to harm Americans, consider this your warning. Patel said, we will hunt you down in every corner of this planet. He added, mission first, America always, let's get to work. Yeah, so couldn't have said it better myself, right? Kash Patel, now your FBI director. And surprisingly, Mitch McConnell actually voted for this, right? He actually voted yes, which is a surprise because Mitch McConnell has been trying to stop President Trump and his nominees from being confirmed. Okay, that is his last act of Trump derangement, so it seems, because he's retiring, right? He's also retiring. He announced that he will not seek re-election anymore. I believe Mitch McConnell's like 83, 84 at this point. He's basically a walking corpse. Okay, he has 1 foot on the grave and 1 foot on the banana peel because he's falling all over the place. Okay, busting his ass at Senate lunches, right, on the Senate floor, humiliating himself and the country. Okay, it is embarrassing to have leadership this old and this frail. And that's why I'm happy that he has announced that he's retiring, right? That he's calling it quits. He can't do it anymore.
Too much attention to today's date, February 20th. But I figured my birthday would be as good a day as any to share with our colleagues a decision I made last year. During my time in the Senate, I've only really answered to 2 constituencies, the Republican Conference and the people of Kentucky. Representing our Commonwealth has been the honor of a lifetime. I will not seek this honor an 8th time. My current term in the Senate will be my last.
Yeah, so finally it's over for Mitch, right? It is over for Mitch McConnell. Now Nancy Pelosi needs to follow along as well too, right? She needs to retire, okay? All of these fossils, these dinosaurs, okay? If you're 80 plus years old in the Senate or in the House, in Congress, you need to go, right? You got to go, okay? You're too old, okay? Mitch should have been gone after Obama, right? When Obama left office, that's when Mitch should have left office because his time was up, okay? His time was up. And that brings me to a conversation about Mitch McConnell's legacy, because I think that his legacy is a mixed bag. And the reason why I say that is because Mitch McConnell is an individual that I consider a political genius back in the Obama days, because he single-handedly basically stopped the Democrats and their agenda under Obama. Okay, Obama did not get a lot of things done that they wanted to get done, literally because of Mitch McConnell, especially when you talk about the courts, okay, and stacking the courts with conservative justices. Yeah, that was Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell had a lot to do that because he blocked a lot of President Obama's nominees towards the end of his term, which left the courts open, a lot of seats open for President Trump to then come in and to appoint conservative judges. Okay, so I think that's probably one of the biggest parts of his legacy. Okay, I think his legacy also has to do with Citizens United and just being a GOP leader that I think mastered the art of being the opposition party, which I think has its pros and cons. But Mitch McConnell was amazing at standing against the Democrats. What he wasn't amazing at, in my opinion, is standing for something, right? He had an opportunity to use his political genius that he once had to actually, I don't know, stand for the America First agenda, and he didn't do that, right? He actually stood against President Trump during his first term. Mitch McConnell was a huge pain in the ass. And I think that is when Mitch McConnell's legacy really started to go downhill, okay? As CNN had some bad news to report about Mitch McConnell and his approval, because it seems as if literally nobody likes the guy, Democrat or Republican. Take a look.
Talk a little bit about Mitch McConnell and the chance he's going to become a folk hero. It ain't going to likely happen. Ain't going to likely happen, because I want you to look at his net approval ratings. He is underwater with everybody. He has got the ultimate, or some might say, sad trifecta of being underwater overall. Minus 39 points. 39 percentage points more of the electorate disapproves than approves of the jobs that he has done. How about Democrats? He's 58 points underwater. My goodness gracious, the chance that all of a sudden, just because he cast 3 votes against Trump, that he'd somehow become a folk hero with them is absolutely, frankly, insane. And then with Republicans, of course, he's gone up against Trump before, and that's why he's 17 points underwater with Republicans. When you're underwater with Democrats, Republicans, and overall, the chance that you're going to become a folk hero, it seems rather low to me, Paula.
It does indeed. All right. Of course, the next question is, how does his popularity compare with that of President Trump?
Yeah, so, I think Donald Trump will like these numbers. All right, so let's take a look. This is the net approval rating I got overall, and I got with Republicans. Look how much higher Donald Trump is overall versus Mitch McConnell. Look at that. Trump is on the positive side of the ledger at +3. Mitch McConnell, of course, underwater overall at minus 39. So Trump is 42 points higher than Mitch McConnell is overall. Among Republicans, of course, Donald Trump very popular there with a +82-point net approval rating. Of course, Mitch McConnell, again, underwater at minus 17. So you do the math quickly here, 82, 17. That is nearly 100 points higher that Donald Trump is net approval rating wise with Republicans than Mitch McConnell is. The bottom line is that when it comes to the popularity battle, Donald Trump comes out way, way, way ahead of Mitch McConnell.
Okay. But is this just a problem with majority leaders? Is this like a heavy is the head situation? I mean, put this into historical context. Where does he stack up against other majority leaders?
Yeah, I always like going through the history books, right? I love spreadsheets. I love history books. So let's go take a look through the history books. We'll take a look at the net popularity ratings of GOP Senate leaders, their final ratings as majority leaders. Take a look here. Mitch McConnell, again, underwater at minus 39 points. How about his predecessor, Dr. Bill Frist from the great state of Tennessee? He was underwater, too, but he was only at minus 8 points. Trent Lott was at +5 points from the great state of Mississippi. And, of course, Bob Dole from the great state of Kansas, he was above water as well at +6 points. So the bottom line is Mitch McConnell, a historical anomaly when it comes to Republican leaders. He is far, far, far more underwater than any of the past GOP leaders over the last 40 years, Paula.
Yeah, and I don't think that would have been the case had he retired back in 2016, right? If he hung it up when he should have hung it up, then I don't think that his approval would be this bad, right? And that's why I think when you have this legacy conversation about Mitch McConnell, it's kind of complicated, because I think we're having a different conversation had he retired back in 2016, okay, 10 years ago. He stayed way too long, and it ended up hurting his legacy, especially amongst Republicans, right? I mean, he could have went down low-key as a legend, so to speak, right? In regards to, again, perfecting the art of how to be an opposition party. But at the same time, the fact that he stayed too long, and because of his Trump derangement and his commitment to the establishment neocon agenda under Trump, he ruined his legacy. And now, basically, both sides don't like him, right? Both sides hate him. That's essentially where he's at right now. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I think that this should be a lesson to these politicians. Hey, you should probably get out after you've been there for too long, right? When you've been there for more than 2 decades, you might want to think about retiring, because the longer that you stay, the more likely it is that you can ruin your legacy. And I think that's exactly what Mitch McConnell did. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.